America has went in a wrong direction since January 20th of 2021, and it was very clear to the world if people did not believe candidate Biden's words in 2020, they certainly saw it immediately on January 20th of 2021 when the Keystone Pipeline was shut down. The pipeline of sending people up from Panama to America was opened up. The exact opposite of what the American people had hoped for. It was followed up by removing sanctions on the Nord Stream line, sending the message to the Germans, hey, you're going to be just okay. As I think my colleague from California stated, and I'll put a finer point on it, I think it was just a couple months ago, the #1 search over in Germany was how to cut firewood. Think about it. #1 search going into search engines is how are we going to cut firewood? As a result of the Germans' dependence on the Russians, which they were warned about. Then we go to the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan, once again showing American weakness. And then let's just go to the Midwest here, where my colleague just to my left here and where we reside. We had blackout threats for the first time in the state of Wisconsin. Our regional grid operator, no partisan organization that is, they came out for the very first time and said that you are under threat of blackouts in Wisconsin. Why? Because we went to intermittent sources of power. And now we have the Nemadji Trail project. Urge you to search for that project that is proposed for Superior, Wisconsin, that's going to use clean burning, affordable, reliable natural gas to produce electricity to make sure that the lights can be on 24 hours a day as some of the major utilities continue this push to having intermittent sources of power. And then, of course, we have Line 5 that runs across from the twin ports of Superior and Duluth, all the way across northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan. And you have a governor over in Michigan who wants to shut down Line 5 and stop a rebuilding of that line, which would make it much safer through the Mackinac Straits. Weakness, dependence on others. You don't think the Chinese are not watching this? They see this decline of America. And that really is the question before all of us at this point. We all know the 20th century was an American century. The greatness of America, the greatness of the ideas that were put in place at the founding led to the tremendous prosperity in this country. But the question is now in the 21st century, whose century is this going to be? With the decline of America, especially the rapid decline over the last year and a half, with an administration that wants to make us more dependent on other countries around the world, that goes over and begs the Saudis for oil, it's clear the direction that we're going in. President Xi sees that weakness as he gets his unprecedented third term, as he has squelched freedom in Hong Kong, as he's going after the Taiwanese, as he has continued to produce products that we consume in America, including those wind turbines and solar panels with slave labor in Western China. President Xi sees our weakness. When are we going to stop? When are we going to stop and reassess this transition to taking America to a terrible place that is not going to benefit all Americans? All we're asking here is a little bit of transparency, a little bit of accountability. Let's get the information before us of what has happened and the purpose of this ROI. With that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.